Wong Lin couldn't find a method to increase the celestial origin energy in his body. Every time he used celestial origin energy, it would be consumed. After enough time had passed, it would be completely exhausted and his celestial core would collapse. In addition, celestial origin energy was essential for cultivating the celestial spells Summon the Rain and Magic Arsenal. While Summon the Rain required relatively less, Magic Arsenal could neither be cultivated nor used without celestial origin energy. This was why Wong Lin had never studied these two celestial spells. Right now, his eyes lit up as he ordered Ta Shan and Senior Yun Quezi to guard the center while he dealt with the mummies outside. His body merged into the void, and he appeared beside one mummy after another. Although the mummies attacked with death aura and strange tattoos, Wong Lin continuously avoided them by merging with the world. Each time he struck one down, its body exploded and a large amount of celestial origin energy entered his body. As more mummies charged toward him, Wong Lin realized that each one contained abundant celestial origin energy. Although they had been powerful cultivators while alive, after countless years of death their movements had become sluggish, allowing Wong Lin, with his early-stage nirvana scryer cultivation, to kill them without much difficulty. However, obtaining celestial origin energy was only one of his goals. He quickly formed an even bolder idea. Recalling the inheritance Qing Shui had passed down, Wong Lin reviewed the true essence of Magic Arsenal. The spell's purpose was to imprison the soul fragments of everyone one killed, preventing them from entering reincarnation and allowing them to be used as one's own power. To accomplish this, one first had to extract the souls of those killed and store them inside a false reincarnation cycle formed by celestial origin energy. Only then could those souls be imprisoned. More importantly, the cultivator needed to create a mysterious space through the celestial spell. Celestial Emperor Bai Fan had created the mysterious soldier realm for this purpose, where countless soul fragments were refined like a furnace to become the foundation of Magic Arsenal. Qing Shui, however, did not use Bai Fan's method. Instead, relying on his overwhelming killing intent, he created the Slaughter Realm, directly suppressing all the souls he had killed. He proudly named this creation the Celestial Spell Confinement. Wong Lin decided to walk neither of these paths. He intended to use his own life and death Dao to form a unique reincarnation cycle. Seeing that the souls of the mummies were still trapped inside their origin souls, which had fused with their bodies after endless years of imprisonment, Wong Lin planned to incorporate all of them into his own reincarnation cycle, allowing them to become the soul fragments needed for his future magic arsenal. After making up his mind, Wong Lin cast Reincarnation Underworld River. A mysterious force descended upon the world as the Underworld River appeared above him. Filled with monstrous resentment, the river coiled around his body as he released his ancient Thunder Dragon origin soul. The Thunder Dragon let out a heaven-shaking roar as Wong Lin exercised his control over thunder. The roar caused an unimaginable transformation throughout planet Suzaku. Endless thunderclouds filled the sky, and lightning from every corner of the planet, as well as from the surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers of starry space, surged toward the immortal graveyard. The deep pit within the forsaken immortal clan became a giant funnel that absorbed all the thunder. It was as though every bolt of lightning was making a pilgrimage to worship the ancestor of all thunder. The entire planet became filled with endless thunder, and every other sound disappeared. Cultivators across planet Suzaku trembled from the depths of their souls like ants facing the might of the heavens, while every mortal knelt in worship. At the same time, a group led by the six-fingered cultivator sensed the terrifying concentration of thunder ahead. Remembering the scene where Shu Mu had once used a single line of heavenly thunder to kill the big-headed boy, he immediately suspected Shu Mu was nearby. Not daring to encounter such a terrifying existence, he decisively changed direction and led his group on a detour. The boundless thunder entered the immortal graveyard, passed through every layer, and finally reached the 17th layer. Countless bolts of lightning engulfed every mummy. One after another, they collapsed beneath the thunder, releasing large amounts of celestial origin energy that flew into Wong Lin's body, while the underworld river swept across the battlefield and extracted their souls as if sending them back into the afterlife. This continued until all the thunder suddenly collapsed into a single point before exploding into an immense thunderstorm. The storm swept through the 17th layer, instantly destroying every remaining mummy. Vast amounts of celestial origin energy poured into Wong Lin, causing the celestial origin core within his body to expand several times until it became the size of a baby's fist. At the same time, the underworld river absorbed hundreds of celestial souls. Some struggled desperately while others revealed expressions of relief, making the resentment within the river even stronger. The scene was so bizarre that it would terrify any mortal who witnessed it. Afterward, all the remaining thunder condensed into a single point, producing an unimaginable impact that shook the entire 17th layer. A heaven-shattering explosion followed, completely collapsing the 17th layer and forcibly opening the passage to the 18th layer. Yun Kezi's mind went completely blank. He had already thought highly of Wong Lin, but after witnessing this spell capable of opening the 18th layer, he realized he had greatly underestimated him and became filled with fear. The big-headed boy's body trembled as memories of the thunder spell that had once killed him resurfaced, causing his fear of Wong Lin to deepen even further. Ta Shan remained expressionless, but Lei Ji gasped in shock. Rather than feeling humiliated at becoming Wong Lin's mount, he now felt honored, because in the cultivation world, only the strong were respected. At the very moment the 18th layer was opened by the overwhelming thunder, the old cultivator who resembled Wang Lin was startled. He immediately disappeared and rushed toward the scene, declaring that the 18th layer could not be entered. In the 17th layer of the immortal graveyard on planet Suzaku, the moment Ta Shan was about to step into the 18th layer, an extremely dignified voice echoed that the 18th layer could not be entered. The sound contained overwhelming power, forcing Ta Shan backward dozens of feet as though struck by a tremendous force, causing him to cough up a mouthful of blood. The big-headed boy was also driven back, while Lei Ji's mind buzzed and went blank as he was continuously pushed backward. Yun Quezi, whose cultivation was the weakest, was thrown into a wall, coughed up blood, and became dispirited. Wong Lin's expression turned cold. The moment the voice appeared, his origin energy activated, but he was still forced back dozens of feet before stabilizing himself. His face slightly pale as he stared ahead. A ripple appeared in the air as an old cultivator who resembled Wong Lin stepped out. The instant he appeared, a terrifying high temperature spread out, instantly sealing all the cracks and closing the passage to the 18th layer. The old cultivator possessed the bearing of a celestial and emitted an immense pressure even without showing anger. Although he quickly concealed this aura within himself, it only made him appear even more dangerous. After appearing, he waved his sleeve, and Yun Quezi, Ta Shan, the big-headed boy, and Lei Ji felt only a powerful gust of wind before they disappeared. Having been directly sent outside the immortal graveyard, Wong Lin's pupils shrank as countless thoughts flashed through his mind. Seeing that everyone except himself had been sent away, he realized there had to be a profound reason. He respectfully cupped his hands and said, "Hang Yu sect disciple Wong Lin greets sect master." The old cultivator looked at him with an unreadable smile and asked who his sect master was. Wong Lin calmly replied that if senior refused to acknowledge it, then he had simply mistaken him for someone else. The old cultivator laughed and asked why Wong Lin believed he was the Hang Yu sect's sect master. Wong Lin answered that he had seen a painting containing the old man's image while in the demon spirit land. The old cultivator pondered briefly before smiling, saying Wong Lin could not casually call someone sect master. He identified himself as Shu Mu, the thunder celestial of the all-heaven star system, and questioned when he had ever accepted such a disciple. Wong Lin's heart trembled, but his expression remained unchanged as he admitted he had mistaken him for someone else. The old cultivator admired Wong Lin's reaction and told him they could discuss that matter later. He warned Wong Lin that he had nearly made a terrible mistake because the 18th layer was not a place that could be entered, especially not with someone from the chosen immortal clan. If that person had obtained the source origin within, not only planet Suzaku but even the entire Alliance star system would have faced catastrophe. Wong Lin respectfully accepted the reprimand without any sign of defiance. The old cultivator then asked whether Wong Lin sincerely regarded him as the former Hang Yu sect master and sincerely considered himself a disciple of the Hang Yu sect. Wong Lin silently reflected on the matter, remembering that the Hang Yu sect had been his first sect and the place where he had taken his first step on the cultivation path. He calmly replied that the Hang Yu sect had been his first sect and that planet Suzaku was his home. The old cultivator's eyes brightened, and he immediately questioned Wong Lin about becoming the Thunder Celestial of the Thunder Celestial Temple. Wong Lin looked directly into the old man's eyes and answered that various circumstances had forced him into that position. The old cultivator's gaze seemed capable of seeing through Wong Lin's heart. After a long silence, his expression softened as he declared that he did not care about Wong Lin's identity in the All-Heaven star system or how many sects he joined. The only thing Wong Lin must remember was that although he was a cultivator of the Alliance star system, he was a person from planet Suzaku and a disciple of the Vermilion Bird branch of the Four Divine sect. As long as Wong Lin remembered that, the old cultivator would always be his sect master. Wong Lin calmly nodded. The old cultivator then casually remarked that the war between the All-Heaven star system and the Cultivation Alliance was the Cultivation Alliance's war and had nothing to do with the Four Divine sect. Hearing this, Wong Lin's expression changed slightly. The old cultivator did not continue the topic and instead said that since Wong Lin had reached the 17th layer, he should already have his own suspicions. With the old cultivator's assistance, Wong Lin could enter the 18th layer to comprehend what lay within. Though whether he gained anything would depend entirely upon his own fortune. Without asking whether Wong Lin agreed, the old cultivator waved his sleeve, and a powerful force surrounded Wong Lin. Although Wong Lin remained cautious, he offered no resistance and maintained a respectful attitude. Taking Wong Lin with him, the old cultivator stepped forward as a circle of magma appeared beneath them and black flames surged into the sky. Surrounding both of them, moments later, they disappeared. Wong Lin felt only an intense wave of heat that contained a trace of source origin. Though astonished by the flames surrounding him, he became even more vigilant. When his vision cleared, he found himself inside a secret chamber about 1,000 feet wide. Everything around him was completely dark except for a single flickering flame at the center, giving the chamber an eerie atmosphere as though ghosts hidden within the darkness continuously tried to devour the flame but were repelled every time. The old cultivator explained that this place was the 18th layer and that the flame was a fragment of the chosen immortal clan ancestors' source origin. Wong Lin could attempt to comprehend it, but any success depended solely on his own luck. Wong Lin silently pondered before focusing his gaze upon the flame. The instant he looked at it, his mind shook violently as a mysterious force rushed from the flame into his consciousness. The flame contained a desire for life, enlightenment toward power, and a faint scent of blood. Suddenly, it flickered violently, and an immense flood of information poured into Wong Lin's mind. The information was endless and chaotic, bombarding him so fiercely that it seemed ready to split his head apart. At that instant, a sun appeared within his left eye, a moon appeared within his right eye, and his karma domain rapidly spread throughout his body. Yin and yang fishes appeared within his mind, rotating continuously and eliminating all distracting thoughts until an astonishing scene unfolded before him. Meanwhile, the old cultivator appeared beside Wong Lin, carefully observing him with admiration. He muttered that Wong Lin was indeed remarkable, having already begun to gain enlightenment from a fragment of source origin, and decided that after further observation, Wong Lin could be allowed to enter the Vermilion Bird series. Wong Lin's consciousness was immersed within a boundless starry sky where countless celestials wielded magical treasures. Before them floated enormous yellow talismans ranging from tens to tens of thousands of feet in length. Standing upon every yellow talisman were strange people whose clothing resembled that of cultivators but whose bodies bore the plant tattoos of the chosen immortal clan. The only difference among them was the number of leaves within their tattoos, while each also had a glowing tattoo between the eyebrows. It was a massive war. As the two sides clashed, the tattoo users displayed bizarre and unpredictable techniques centered around their tattoos. They frequently sealed heaven and earth itself, causing the world's origin energy to tremble. Before long, an old man standing atop one of the enormous yellow talismans charged forward. His tattoo contained numerous leaves along with a single golden leaf. He spread his arms, and countless tattoos flew out from his body. Space itself trembled, the celestials cried out in alarm, and the countless tattoos instantly surrounded them, causing them to lose their celestial origins. At the critical moment, a streak of black light shot in from the distance. A mysterious figure enveloped completely in black light arrived, making it impossible to see his appearance. He immediately battled the tattooed old man and, in an instant, reached out to seize the space between the old man's eyebrows, mercilessly pulling out a flame overflowing with vitality. The moment the flame was extracted, it collapsed into countless sparks of fire. One of those sparks flew directly toward Wong Lin and instantly imprinted itself between his eyebrows. Wong Lin felt an intense burning sensation on his forehead as an overwhelming force, seemingly capable of penetrating time itself, forced his body backward. With a loud thud, he abruptly opened his eyes and awakened. The moment he regained consciousness, he stared at the flame before him and realized that it looked exactly like the flame that had been extracted from the tattooed old man's forehead within the vision. Although everything that had happened seemed like a dream, the burning heat between his eyebrows reminded him that the experience had been completely real. Wong Lin subconsciously touched the space between his eyebrows, but there was nothing there. At the same time, a massive stone rapidly flew through the starry sky toward the western region of the Alliance star system. Standing atop the stone was a man dressed in red whose eyes were cold and ruthless. Gazing into the distant stars, he muttered, "All heaven thunder celestial Shu Mu. I hope you're not too weak." The old cultivator emerged from the chamber and carefully observed Wong Lin, especially the space between his eyebrows. Before asking if he had seen anything, Wong Lin respectfully replied that he had witnessed some scenes. The old cultivator took the flame into his hand and explained that it had been formed from the essence source origin of a peak golden leaf member of the Fu clan. Comprehending its source origin would greatly benefit cultivation and served as the test for becoming an inner disciple of the Vermilion Bird branch of the Four Divine Sect. If Wong Lin could gain comprehension from it, he would qualify as an inner disciple. After briefly absorbing a trace of the flame's power, the old cultivator's face reddened before returning to normal. He then sent Wong Lin away, declaring that as long as he remained on planet Suzaku, no one would be able to harm it. After Wong Lin left, the old cultivator muttered that he would definitely open the final layer of the Fu clan. Wong Lin appeared on a mountain on planet Suzaku with a pale face and reflected on the old cultivator's extraordinary cultivation. He believed the old man was at least comparable to Master Flamespark, if not stronger, and questioned why such a person had remained on planet Suzaku for so long. Wong Lin concluded that one of the old cultivator's objectives was opening the final 2 layers of the Forsaken Immortal clan and wondered whether he also knew about the land of the ancient god. Although the old cultivator's identity remained mysterious, Wong Lin knew he belonged to the Vermilion Bird branch of the Four Divine Sect and sensed hidden meaning behind his words. Lacking enough clues, Wong Lin decided not to speculate further and resolved to leave the planet. He spread out his divine sense, located Ta Shan and the others, summoned them, and looked one last time at planet Suzaku. Knowing he had already settled all of his affairs there and that Tuo Sen still remained on the planet, he sighed before flying into the sky. At the same time, Ta Shan, the big-headed boy, and Lei Ji departed from different regions of planet Suzaku. Zhou Wutai silently stood atop a mountain, gazed into the distance for a long time, and then left. Near the border between the Sea of Devils and Hu Fen, Li Qiqing also looked toward the sky and quietly blessed his younger sister's decision to follow Wong Lin. In the Cloud Sky sect, Tai Yan awakened after sensing something and realized Wong Lin's departure would likely keep him away for a very long time. Outside planet Suzaku, Wong Lin reunited with his companions. Ta Shan merged back into Wong Lin's shadow, while the big-headed boy respectfully stood nearby. Without needing any command, Lei Ji enlarged his body until he became a giant thousands of feet tall, releasing an overwhelming pressure. Members of the giant demon clan were prized as mounts because of their powerful physiques, immense pressure, and unique bloodline abilities. Lei Ji knelt before Wong Lin and willingly offered himself as Wong Lin's mount. Wong Lin smiled, stepped onto Lei Ji's broad back, and the big-headed boy followed behind him like a servant. Lei Ji roared and charged through space at tremendous speed, only slightly slower than the Thunder Beast, creating a massive storm wherever he passed. The big-headed boy was astonished by the difference between the Alliance star system and the All-Heaven star system, where such gigantic mounts did not exist. He thought that anyone capable of riding such a mount could not possibly be an ordinary cultivator. As they traveled, the big-headed boy suddenly noticed a red-robed cultivator approaching while standing atop a gigantic beehive-like stone covered with holes. The stone moved at incredible speed, creating thunderous sonic booms and monstrous waves throughout the starry sky. The red-robed man appeared about 30 years old and had 7 blood-red flying swords circling him, each emitting an intense killing aura that gathered into a blood-colored vortex resembling a giant python. The man coldly declared himself to be Kill Yu Fei from the Cultivation Alliance's slaughter domain and announced that he had come to take Wong Lin's head. His stone accelerated further, flames igniting from friction as it shot directly toward Lei Ji. Lei Ji became alarmed and prepared to dodge, but the big-headed boy stepped forward first, gathering celestial origin energy into a powerful celestial spell. He transformed it into a net of threads that rushed toward the approaching stone. At that moment, the red-robed man's first blood sword shot forward, releasing blood mist that transformed into an avatar identical to himself. The avatar immediately attacked with 7 blood-red sword lights, engaging the big-headed boy in battle. The two exchanged spells continuously, causing explosions throughout the stars, but neither could gain the upper hand. Wong Lin instantly recognized that the avatar possessed early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation while the original body was at the mid-stage of Nirvana Scryer. As the stone closed in, Ta Shan emerged from Wong Lin's shadow and threw a punch, but the red-robed man calmly detonated a second blood sword into another avatar, which intercepted Ta Shan, remaining seated on Lei Ji's back. Wong Lin calmly raised his right hand. Countless bolts of lightning gathered and transformed the surrounding space into a hell of thunder. The red-robed man halted his stone 1,000 feet away and praised Wong Lin as the All-Heaven Thunder Celestial, acknowledging that he truly deserved the title. He then released his remaining 5 blood swords, which flew into 5 directions before exploding into blood mist and transforming into 5 additional avatars. Each avatar wielded 7 blood-red sword lights, creating a formation centered on the original body. Although Wong Lin's endless lightning closed in, all of it was diverted toward the blood swords, leaving the area within 500 feet of the red-robed man untouched by thunder. Laughing coldly, the red-robed man mocked Wong Lin, asking if this was the extent of his strength and declaring that Wong Lin would not escape him if this was all he could do. Wong Lin's eyes turned cold as a vortex appeared between his eyebrows, and his ancient thunder dragon origin soul burst forth, roaring across the heavens. Wong Lin controlled the thunder, causing countless lightning bolts to appear from the void and gather around him. As the thunder roared, more and more lightning filled the sky, creating a scene like divine retribution. Yu Fei, dressed in red, laughed coldly. He acknowledged that Wong Lin finally possessed the aura of a thunder celestial from the All-Heaven star system and declared that it had been worth coming personally to take Wong Lin's head. Wong Lin coldly called him arrogant and pointed forward, causing the thunder within tens of thousands of kilometers to gather. The entire region became a vast thunder lake that rapidly shrank with Yu Fei at its center. As the thunder compressed, its power increased to an unimaginable level, comparable to divine retribution. The violent contraction tore open countless spatial cracks, releasing cold winds and creating an apocalyptic scene. Ta Shan and the big-headed boy immediately retreated from their own battle after sensing the terrifying power. The condensed thunder crashed into Yu Fei's 35 blood swords and 5 avatars. One blood sword shattered immediately, followed by all the others collapsing under the overwhelming bombardment. The thunder then surged directly toward Yu Fei. The distance of 500 feet was crossed in an instant. At the critical moment, the 5 avatars transformed into 5 giant swords that formed a defensive barrier 100 feet around Yu Fei. The thunder smashed into them, causing cracks to spread across the swords. Yu Fei remained calm and admitted that he had underestimated Wong Lin's thunder but insisted it was still insufficient. He took out an ancient-looking branch from his storage bag, revealing it to be one of the slaughter domain's treasures, the branch of the Thunder World Tree, which the domain master had specifically given him to suppress Wong Lin's thunder. He threw the branch forward while the 5 blood swords retreated, without the swords blocking its path. The thunder rushed toward Yu Fei, but Wong Lin suddenly lost control over it. Instead of attacking Yu Fei, every bolt of thunder was drawn into the branch, which absorbed it completely while crackling with lightning. Standing beside the branch, Yu Fei sneered as the thunder ignored him entirely. Wong Lin's expression became gloomy. Yu Fei declared that with Wong Lin's early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation, He was insignificant unless a miracle occurred. He charged through the thunder with killing intent while the 5 blood swords followed him. Wong Lin calmly retreated, stared at Yu Fei, and said, "I'll give you a miracle." Ripples spread beneath his feet as he disappeared instantly. Yu Fei was startled, released a storm of origin energy around himself, but was unable to detect Wong Lin's presence. Far away in the Alliance star system was a rank 6 cultivation planet containing 5 rank 5 cultivation countries. In the rank 5 country Fallen Moon, a beautiful young woman named Song Ying stood outside an alchemy room on the back mountain. She wore a pink butterfly dress, had tiny metallic specks above her right eyebrow, jade-like skin, and cloud-like hair. She called softly toward the room, saying she was Song Ying and asking if senior brother Wang was there. Inside the alchemy room sat a cold-looking man with red hair. Around 30 years old, his icy aura made it feel like winter. Hearing Song Ying's voice, he frowned and coldly replied that he was not there before continuing his cultivation. Instead of leaving, Song Ying happily entered the alchemy room courtyard and sat outside the room, saying she would only stay for a while. The cold aura flowing from the room entered her body, making her face flush while greatly benefiting her cultivation. Song Ying cultivated a technique related to cold energy, but her progress had long stagnated, since she lacked the status to enter the sect's cold cultivation grounds. She had once accidentally discovered that staying outside Wong Lin's alchemy room greatly increased the cold energy within her body. Since then, she came almost every day. She eventually learned that Wong Lin was merely an outer sect worker assigned to the alchemy room. Yet she never saw him perform any work. She even witnessed the alchemy room's uncle master treating Wong Lin with extreme respect. Convinced that Wong Lin was hiding many secrets, she became increasingly curious about him. His cold personality only deepened her fascination, and she often found herself thinking about him. While cultivating outside the room, Song Ying's heartbeat accelerated, touching an embroidered pouch filled with spirit herbs that she had personally gathered and sewn together to help calm the mind. She gathered her courage to speak to Wong Lin. Before she could finish, the door opened and Wong Lin walked out. As he stepped outside, an enormous amount of cold spiritual energy spread outward. This was residual spiritual energy left behind after an ancient god had absorbed spiritual energy. Though insignificant to Wong Lin, it was extremely dense for ordinary cultivators. Fortunately, the alchemy room itself already possessed abundant spiritual energy, so the difference was not obvious. The appearance of Wong Lin's original body caused Song Ying to lose her courage. Before she could say another word, Wong Lin took one step, flew into the sky, and disappeared, holding the embroidered pouch she had prepared for him. Song Ying watched him leave with a disappointed expression. Wong Lin's original body left the cultivation planet and entered outer space. Ripples appeared nearby as Wong Lin's avatar emerged. The original body and avatar walked toward each other until they merged into one in a flash of green light. After being separated for hundreds of years, Wong Lin's avatar and original body finally fused again. An overwhelming aura erupted from him and spread throughout the starry sky. The fusion of the ancient god body and chi cultivator body caused crackling sounds to echo throughout him while countless bolts of thunder surrounded him. His left eye contained the sun, his right eye contained the moon, and his red and black hair fused into purple hair that fluttered without wind. The ancient god stars were concealed beneath his third eye and could no longer be seen. "I'll give you a miracle." Wong Lin's cold voice echoed throughout the stars. Taking one step, he disappeared. Wong Lin's appearance had not changed much, but he had become extremely calm. Faint lines covered his body, and an overwhelmingly powerful aura spread from him throughout the starry sky. As the aura expanded, it shook the entire rank 6 cultivation planet, causing countless cultivators to awaken from cultivation with their souls trembling. Wong Lin then stepped forward. Ripples appeared beneath his feet, and he vanished into the stars. Yu Fei's expression turned gloomy after witnessing the ripples beneath Wong Lin's feet. He immediately recognized the spell as spatial bending and was deeply shocked that Xu Mu had mastered such a rare technique despite only being at the early stage of Nirvana Scryer. None of the information he had received about Xu Mu mentioned this ability. He immediately spread his origin energy and distorted the surrounding space in an attempt to locate Wong Lin. But no trace could be found. Realizing Wong Lin had escaped, Yu Fei became furious and redirected all of his killing intent toward the big-headed boy, charging directly at him while shouting that since the master had fled, he would kill the disciple first. As a mid-stage nirvana scryer cultivator, allowing an early-stage cultivator to escape without any means of pursuit filled him with humiliation and rage. The big-headed boy was already fighting Yu Fei's avatar when Yu Fei himself attacked. Terrified, he retreated while cursing Wong Lin. Yu Fei pointed with his finger, causing 5 blood swords to shoot toward him. Together with the previous sword, 6 nirvana scryer-level attacks surrounded him. Unable to resist, the big-headed boy became desperate and prepared to self-destruct his origin soul to destroy at least one avatar. At that critical moment, Wong Lin's cold voice echoed, saying, "This is my miracle." Wong Lin suddenly appeared from the void, grabbed the big-headed boy, and threw him backward out of danger. Facing the 6 blood swords, Wong Lin calmly threw a punch whose force exceeded even Ta Shan's. The punch shattered space itself, creating deafening sonic booms and countless cracks. Yet the freezing winds pouring from them had no effect on Wong Lin. Wong Lin's fist struck one blood sword directly, instantly shattering it. The fragments transformed back into one of Yu Fei's avatars, which coughed blood in terror and retreated. Knowing that Yu Fei's true body and avatars together would be difficult to defeat separately, Wong Lin chose to fuse with his original body and immediately pressed the attack. Before the remaining avatars could react, he appeared beside the wounded avatar and punched again. Space trembled as the avatar exploded into clouds of blood mist before collapsing completely. It was absolute slaughter. Wong Lin then turned toward the remaining blood swords, moving so quickly that countless afterimages remained behind. He punched the empty space, tearing a giant crack through the void. Another blood sword rushed toward him, but Wong Lin caught it with one hand and crushed it. The second avatar attempted to escape, but countless bolts of thunder gathered beneath Wong Lin's gaze, striking the avatar until it collapsed and died. The remaining 4 blood swords struck Wong Lin simultaneously. Instead of injuring him, they collided with his body like metal striking metal, and the tremendous rebound force sent them flying backward. The big-headed boy was stunned that Wong Lin's body could withstand the flying swords without suffering any damage. Yu Fei was equally shocked. Everything had happened in the blink of an eye, and 2 of his avatars had already been destroyed, creating enormous turmoil in his heart. As Yu Fei prepared to charge forward, Wong Lin suddenly turned around and released the roar of an ancient god. The roar echoed across the heavens, carrying the true voice of the ancient gods that had disappeared countless years ago. Even heavenly thunder seemed insignificant before it, and the starry sky itself appeared to bow. The roar released an ancient aura that forced all living beings to submit and caused every form of power to disintegrate. It was many times more violent than thunder, creating a devastating storm that swept through the region. Yu Fei was struck directly by the ancient god's roar. His mind trembled violently, forcing him to retreat as though he would be torn apart if he remained. His face turned pale. His origin energy circulated uncontrollably, and he felt that stopping it would mean certain death. His ears buzzed until he could hear nothing except his own heartbeat accelerating faster and faster. Terror filled his soul, the instinctive fear all beings held toward ancient gods, and that fear completely consumed him. The big-headed boy's face also turned pale. Although he possessed celestial origin and was considered a celestial, he suddenly felt as insignificant as an ant. Lei Ji's body trembled as well. A will awakened within him that resembled a servant finally encountering his true master, compelling him to kneel and obey Wong Lin without resistance. Although shocked by this feeling of reverence, Lei Ji instead experienced an inexplicable sense of familiarity. The 4 remaining blood swords near Wong Lin suffered the greatest impact. The roar caused the heavens and earth to change color while space collapsed. All 4 blood swords exploded, their fragments transforming back into 4 Nirvana Scryer avatars. Before they could react, the destructive force of the ancient god's roar struck them once again. Like fragile objects caught within a devastating storm, all 4 avatars immediately collapsed and completely perished. Wong Lin then took another step, disappearing through spatial bending before instantly reappearing beside Ta Shan, who was confronting Yu Fei's last avatar. That final avatar had already been frightened into retreating, but it had no chance to escape. Wong Lin formed a sword seal with 2 fingers and pointed downward. Endless thunder descended from every direction as the yin and yang fishes appeared. The instant his fingers landed, the final avatar exploded. Within only several breaths of time, Wong Lin had annihilated all 7 of Yu Fei's avatars one after another. Creating an unimaginable shock, he then looked coldly at the pale-faced Yu Fei and said, "This is the miracle I'm giving you. Are you satisfied?"